Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my channel, The Creative Book Shack. I'm Debs. This is the second part of my series on using what I have stuffed in my craft room. I don't know about you, but over the years I've bought so much paper, and some of it I don't even like anymore. So I thought I'd try and do something with the things I didn't like anymore. I've got some vague templates here. I'm looking at pockets and tuck spots. Really, really simple ones that will take you minutes. Things like these. They're good stash busters. You can use up papers that you don't like. You have these ones. We have this one. All sorts of things. And here, to enable me to do this thing, I have a pile of papers that I'm not impressed with. In fact, I don't even know why I bought this one, but there you go. I'm going to see if we can use at least some of them. I've got the usual scissor paper glue. I've got a roll of really thick sellotape, scissors, stamps, ink, all that sort of thing. I've also got some of these cards, or if you saw Monday's video, I said I bought these as a job lot. I've got a whole tin of them. I never use them, so I need to start. And this is the easiest sort of pocket. I thought I'd use these two because they go together quite nicely, but I am going to ink them first. Let's see how many of these we can do. This is just to create instant things for my journals that I can use, or put them together for some nice happy mail to send to people. See, the thing I don't like, this one's not actually too bad, but lots of them have really twee things on them and they're dated. Of course, none of the ones I'm picking up are dated now, but things like this, Easter Delights, I don't tend to use them in their original state. So digging them out of the tin on my shelf makes me feel as though there was a purpose in buying them in the first place. I've got a really dreadful habit of buying things. Right, what should we do with this? The easiest thing to do with this, I think I like the dotty thing on the front best, is to just get some glue, go down that side, go down that side, and plonk that on top of there as straight as possible. See, now it's that, I mean, you could have just used one of them, but it's that simple. You just take two bits, you stick them together, you've got a pocket. Now this obviously has a hole there, that's not dried yet, but what I would do with this is I would glue it down both sides and along the bottom, plonk it on there, you've got a double pocket. You can decorate it. Shall we decorate it? Shall we stick some things on it? Let's put, what have I got here? Got a nice little bird stamp that I think would look quite fun there. And then I have what do these say? We'll put one that says identification check across the top. Put it the right way up, shall we? So we'll stick that on there. We can take some of our nice ink. Let's put that back. Find the buried paintbrush. Mix this together. Do some nice splatting on it. Decorate it to your heart's content. Pocket number 1. That was easy, wasn't it? Right. Let's have a go at pocket number 2 with some double-sided paper. Have we used that one? We could use that one. I've really gone off this paper. It's a bit too bright and in your face for me now, but let's do something really simple with this as well. We're going to take a square piece of paper and we are going to fold it in half that way. And in half that way. This is so simple. Now we're going to fold it into quarters. This is probably the easiest multi-tuck spot. I am going to take that corner and I am going to fold it like that. That gives you a tuck spot there. I'm going to take the next corner and fold it like that. That's going to give you a tuck spot there. I'm going to take the third corner and I'm going to fold it like that. Now at this point, you can ink it. I'm going to ink it. So I'm going to open it up. I want to ink around these folds on each of them, and you can tell where you want to ink because it's the bit folded forward. Okay, you don't have to ink the whole thing. I'm going to fold ink around this bit. And my final little bit is this bit. Okay, then which way am I going with this? This way, right, there, and there. So all the edges of the triangles are inked, and now I'm just going to ink this bit. That's the easy way of determining which bits you have to ink without doing front and back of the whole piece of paper. Now, sticking it, there's a couple of ways you can do this, depending on how you want the top spots to be. I am going to take this, which is a notch cutter, or you could use a circle cutter. I'm going to go into the middle of that, cut a notch. Okay, so this bit is actually going to create another pocket. Now, obviously, you can do this right-handed or left-handed. If you wanted to do it left-handed, you put the notch on that side. I'm going to do it on this side. So this one, I am just going to glue along the bottom like that. And there is my first pocket. I also want to glue this up here. You can glue that bit there, or you can leave it open. I think on this one, I am going to glue that bit there. And that gives you, oh, I've forgotten something. I do want to just seal this down, otherwise it will flap about in the breeze and get in the way. So let's just put that on there, tuck it in there like that, and then I'm going to glue that side and that bit. That's not stuck. While that is sticking nicely, I'm going to glue this bit down again, just so it doesn't get in the way when you're putting stuff in and out of your pocket. And I'm not going to do that bit. I think I'm going to leave that bit open. And there you have something which has a little pocket there. Then you've got a little pocket there, a little pocket there, a bigger pocket there. And depending on how you stick it down, you can also have a pocket at the back. So you can either completely cover that in glue, stick it flat to the page, or just go around the edges and stick it down so you've got a pocket at the back as well. Entirely up to you. So that already is pocket number 2. Now we could just use some more of this ink as it's sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and just put some splats on it. Just to grunge it up a bit, or not, as the case may be, whatever you like. We'll leave that to dry. We'll put it over there. Okay. Pocket number 3. What shall we use for this one? Let's use this. Again, a bit white for me, but there's an easy way to turn it into something new. That's me dropping my scoreboard, people. Okay, here's a scoreboard. Where's a scoring tool? I had one earlier. There it is. Okay, look. This is just over 20 centimetres. Let's do... I'm going to divide this up into... I'm going to score at 5, 10 and 15 centimetres. Now this is going to make 2 little tuck spotty pockety things out of one piece of 20 by 20, which is it's what's that, 8 by 8, 15. So I have scored 5, 10 and 15 in both directions. You see on the back there. And now I'm going to cut this. I am going to start here, and I'm going to cut the first square like that. I'm going to go up and across, so I'm basically cutting staircases, up and across, up and across. So what I have is a large and a small one. Let's start with the large one. Which way do I want to do it? Let's do it this way. I'm going to fold that way, and then that way, and then that way. I'm going to bone fold it. Oops. You can see there are some overlaps. So this is where the paper was actually slightly wider. I'm just going to take the scissors and trim that off. It was slightly wider than 20 centimetres. Also, I have a complete inability to cut in a straight line. So I'm going to put that there and cut that off, and then I'm going to cut those off. So it's all nice and neat now. Next, I am going to open it up. I'm going to take my notch cutter, or like I say, do half a circle cut. Because these are folded, I can just fold those down quickly and do that. I can fold that down. Yeah, because if I don't, the notch isn't going to be anywhere centered. I'm just eyeballing these for a center, and then this is what I have. So I am going to fold it that way. There are a number of ways you can do this as well. I'm going to start with the bottom one. I'm going to glue it across there. I'm going to glue it down there. Hold it in place for a second or two. Right, the next one is this one. Again, I'm going to glue it right at the bottom. You don't have to. You could glue it part way up if you wish to. But I'm going to go down there. And I'm going to go down there. And then Look at that mess I've made already. Now we're getting to the stage where this is quite long. So you could use it for a bookmark, I suppose, but I'm going to glue the whole of this square and then up the side. So this pocket is not going to be the full depth of this. So that gets glued like that. And I glue down the side like that. And I fold that and stick it in place. Now my pocket will start there and go down to there. That is really it. But it's a bit white for me, like I say. The easiest way, I think, to do this one where the background is white is just to go right over the top. And I think this improves it. If you don't wish to do this, if you have a different coloured paper, if you want to do something completely different, absolutely feel free, because it's your game. So I'm going to go around the edges. Like that, all the way up to the top. Now again, with this one, if you want another pocket, you could glue this just at the side, so you've got something there. I've done this deliberately with a hole at the top so I can do that, but I think that's a bit boring so far. Let's see what we can have on here. I'm going to have some splodges just randomly on there. I'm going to have a couple of splats. Let's put one there and let's put one there. What else have we got? Let's put a butterfly on there. A flower up there. No, they're people. What have we got here? Got some flowers there. Just some flower stickers. What shall we have? Don't really want the shiny ones. Quite like that one. So we'll take that off there. Let's get in here. Go in. Yeah, that'll do it. So we'll put that down there like that. We'll make it tone in a little bit. We will put some glue under there because it's actually not going to stay like that, is it? So we'll have that like that. maybe a sunflower in there like that. And there you go, that's that one done. Now, we're going to do the same with this one, just make a smaller one. And that way you've used up an entire sheet of 8x8 with no mess, and you've created 2 different little tuck spots. Just cut the excess. Oh, look what I've done. I've cut it off completely. That was stupid. Right. Let's notch these. But all is not lost, because you can just put it on there again with some glue. So you can always fix these things. So what am I doing? This, because I am too gung-ho with the scissors, is not meant to be loose. So I will have to glue it on 3 corners, 3 sides even, and stick it on there like that. This one I managed to leave in place. So I'm just going like that and like that, and sticking that on there. Oh, look how wonky that is. I think what I might do with this one, instead of going in with the notch, I'm just going to round the corners on that. Then I'm going to I use burnt espresso, by the way. It's Distress Oxide. It's a Ranger one. This is my preferred ink of choice. Everybody's got one that they prefer, haven't they? So with this one, do you know what I could do? I could take the notch, do that side, and that side, and then cut. Across like that. So it's got a bit of a tab on it. So lopsided. When you do it straight. Looks better when it's straight. Let's take this. Let's take this and put that just about there, like that. What else shall we do? We'll take that. Are you actually the right way up? Which way up do you go? Yeah, okay. Put that there. Put that there. And you can add to that later. So that's numbers, what's that, 3 and 4? Yeah, we've got 3 and 4 there. What else shall we do? This one. I'm just going to wipe this because it's actually filthy. So, give it a squirt. Okay. This one, I want some thinner paper. I think that will do. It's still the same size. I don't like that bit down the side. This here. I am going to make this very slightly off square. Right. Okay. I have a very slightly off square piece of paper, and it is only very slightly off. I am going to fold it like that across the diagonal. This is what you have. I am going to take this. I am going to fold it roughly a third. Doesn't matter if it isn't. Probably shouldn't do that. Right, that's... Then I am going to fold this over to there. Okay. Then fold. Bone fold. Right. See what I've got? Now, I wish to ink again. On the outside. There's 2 bits of outside there, do you see? I'm going to do both. So I'm going to up the outside of that one. I want the inside of that one. I want the inside of that one. I want the outside of that one. And the outside of that one. I want the outside of that one. I will be wanting the outside of that one. I'll be wanting that. I'll be wanting that. Okay, we're almost done with the inking. What I need now is a circle punch. So here's a large circle punch. I'm going to do this because under here there is another pocket, okay? So I'm going to do quite a deep, actually, first of all, that's going to go in there. This is going to tuck in there like that. Okay. So no, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it in roughly the middle. I'm going to do it there. Yeah. And now I want to go around that and that. Right. Here's my piece of paper. It's slightly off square. I folded it by the longest diagonal. I then folded this piece in. I then folded this piece in. Now, because of the way the folds go, you have lots of pockets. You could even cut that bit off, should you wish to, but you don't have to. Now, you can tuck that into there and then glue along the bottom there. But I find if you do that, you lose one of your pockets. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take this, I'm going to glue, I am going to glue, come on glue. Right, I'm going to glue along there like that, and I am going to stick that down. Just like that. Then I am going to take this glue and I am going to go along there like that. And I am going to stick that down. I am going to be blindfolding. This is a mishmash. It uses a whole sheet other than that circle bit. You can do something with this. I mean, I could, for example, just cut that off like that, and then actually that's too big. I'm gonna just round off the corners slightly. Just like that. So if you're not bothered about symmetry, if you actually want something that's going to be asymmetric, this gives you so many pockets. You have, what do we have? We have a pocket at the back, then we have a pocket there, then we have a pocket there, then we have a little bit of a pocket there, then we have a pocket there. And if you want to stick it onto the back of your page, you could even have a pocket there. The other thing you could do, which I'm thinking I might prefer to do now, is cut that like that. Yeah, I think I prefer that. And then round that off. I think that looks better. Then decorate to your heart's content. I mean, you could even, I don't know why you'd want to, you could cut that off completely and put another hole there. There's just so many things you can do with that, and there's so many different pockets, and then you can decorate it to your heart's content. I don't know how we're doing for time, but I'm going to do a finally. Finally, what paper shall I use for this? I know there's some in there. I sort of want some that's maybe bluish. Maybe that one. Let's try that one. Okay, sorry, I'm knocking the camera as I'm trying to put this paper thing back. Bit of blue, and a bit of sellotape. I am going to put that through there. Doesn't really matter what size. I'm going to take that bit it's not even straight, is it? Is that straight? That's straight. Right. And then this bit, I'm going to cut in 2 pieces. And again, it doesn't really matter about measurements. So what I've got is 1 times rectangular piece of blue. And then I have another rectangular piece. And then I have cut them in 2. Now what I'm going to do is get some sellotape. Attempt to get some sellotape off here. Where is the end of the sellotape? There. Are you the end? That bit's got... I don't like that bit because it's got creases in it. So I'm going to put this down there. Like that. I'm going to find a bit without creases. You can't see it when it's on here, can you? And I've now got it stuck to my fingers. Right, I'm going to find a piece without creases. I'm going to attempt to line that up vaguely straight. I am then going to line this up. Let's put that on a thing so I can see it. I'm going to line this up straight, and what I have is that. Okay. Still getting it stuck to my finger. Do you know what I'll do? If I bend that bit round and I bend that bit round, it might not stick to my fingers. Now, what I have here, I started ages ago in a flower press. This was an experiment to see if I could print with the flowers onto this. Quick answer, I can't. It didn't work at all. But now after months, I have a dried fern leaf. I left it for months to see if it would come out like that, but it didn't. I have some dried lavender. I am going to put... Oh, it smells lovely still. I'm going to put the lavender on the sellotape. With some of the fern leaves. Like that. Let's just trim me lavender. And what is that? You don't want any fur. Put that on there. And that one on there. Okay. Now what I wish to do, and she's lost the end of the sellotape again. It's gone. I really ought to be very careful about this. Where has it gone? It's got to be here somewhere. Don't you think? Okay, I'm going to have to pause this. Okay, I'm back. Watching me find the end of the sellotape, I don't think is the most interesting video in the world. So I am going to put another strip of sellotape, sheet of sellotape over there and cut that. Right. Now I am taking this, I am cutting that like that, and I am cutting that like that. I am removing the rest of my dried flowers out of the way. I am wondering what I did with the other piece of paper. There it is. So I think what I'm going to do is put that together like that so it doesn't fall apart. Turn it round, slice this bit off the bottom. So the pocket is the same shape. I'm going to round the corners. Like that. I am going to put a hole punch there. Okay, like that. Yes. I'm gonna ink the edges. Of that, and then I just want to do the middle across there. I am going to, there's the glue down here, across the bottom, and down there, and I am going to put that on there like that. Leave that to dry a bit. I'm going to find something. What shall I find? Maybe I shall find that. Just because I'm not keen on the glare of the sellotape on the card. I don't mind it where it's where the dried things are. So I'm going to laden that up with some glue. I'm going to put that on there, like that. It's falling down like London Bridge. We'll cut that off there, and we'll just keep that in place like that. It's a bit of sellotape I'm stuck to. Then I'm going to take, oh, that's creased. Don't want you to be creased. Please don't crease. Let's put a clip on you. Cut you off first. Right. I am so cack-handed sometimes. Right. That there. That's it. You stay like that. You there. Okay. I think I'm done with that. In fact, I think I'm done. So, what have we produced other than a big mess? We have pocket number 1, pocket number 2, a scrap busting pocket, These are all scrap busting pockets. 6 pockets. Or tuck spots, or whatever you want to call them. I think I'm done. Thank you very much for stopping by. It's always lovely to see you. And I will speak to you again soon. Bye-bye for now.